magic piece. No. Is it? No.
You keep putting that same piece there.
Me?
Yeah.
It's driving me crazy.
You tried like 3 times.
Whoa. Just look at how we
I feel like if I keep coming back,
No, that's
It'll change.
No, that is.
There we go.
Just it. Hey,
Wait, she has it.
Yeah, she's giving it to you. There it is.
Infertility is really hard. You get to see all of your friends as you are getting married. They all are getting married, and then you watch them have baby showers and bring these new babies into the world. And my husband and I, for 4 years, were at every baby shower or heard all the announcements, and it's a difficult thing, and you just keep asking God, well, what am I doing wrong? Or what is it that I can do to have a child? Are we ever gonna have children? Is this in the cards for us? But you start to question, why us? And so that was really difficult. After 5 full years of trying to conceive and medical intervention and numerous types of testing and treatments that weren't working, we were able to have our first child through IVF, and that would be Jackson. We had our son, which we were very gracious for. We then had to go seek medical treatment to have Charlotte. And I remember she was 5 days old, and I took her into the pediatrician office for a checkup. And she looked at me and said, "Where's Brandon? You need to call him, and we need to have a talk." I remember sitting in that room and her looking and having tears in her eyes and saying, I know you went through IVF, and I know that you had some genetic testing, but did they test for cystic fibrosis? And I remember telling her, there's no way that can happen. It took us forever to get here to have this baby. And I just remember the fear just overcoming me. I became a little angry with God, thinking, why would you give us this child that we may lose? And so I started to have this disconnect with God, but also this fear of, is Charlotte going to be here in a year? So am I going to lose the thing that I worked so hard to get? And the anger, the fear overtook my faith. The strength of Charlotte and all the testing. She just got through it like a champ. Just seeing Charlotte's strength really started to restore my faith, and knowing that Charlotte had God in her life, had the support from us, I knew in my heart she was going to be okay. So the unexpected pregnancy with Savannah really showed me that God is truly faithful. And we were getting ready to go on vacation and take our kids to the beach, and we found out about Savannah the day before. And it just restored our faith after years of struggle that God provided us an opportunity to have a child on our own, and it was the biggest blessing we ever had. Back in April, I had noticed for a few weeks that I was waking up in a pool of sweat, feeling really weak, and then just completely feeling exhaustion. And one night I went to sleep and woke up feeling the worst that I had in weeks, and woke up my husband at 4 a.m. and we went to the hospital. Within 2 hours, we had oncology telling us that they thought that I had a type of leukemia or lymphoma, and they told me that I'd be most likely transferred to a hospital here in town for 6 weeks, and I wouldn't be able to see my children. When I was in the hospital, Brandon came in that morning with a Bible in his hand and his phone and said, "You need this more than me." And he put the phone on the bedside table, and shortly into his introduction, I heard Trevor say my name. And listening to it, I immediately started sobbing, and I realized God and your faith should be your center and not the focus of all the what ifs of the testing or what the outcome would be, and just praying to God and knowing that He's in control. I found out shortly after that it was not blood cancer when I was discharged. It was the best case scenario, and we're so thankful for it. But it was after we came home, I knew I wanted to be rebaptized. So I immediately called Pantano and asked when the next baptism day was, and I signed up. And that was May 5th of 2024. The day of my baptism was similar to the day that Trevor prayed for me in the hospital, and I felt this overwhelming peace and comfort and also excitement. I remember it vividly, and it's just feeling like a new Kinlee and this overwhelming warmth that I feel. Looking back and realizing I didn't turn to God in the ways that I should. God had a bigger plan in store, and it always was a better plan for us and our family. And if it weren't for my husband reminding me that God is faithful, God has a plan, you're not in control, I don't know what I would have done at that point.